Welcome back, my wonderful tome readers, and welcome any newcomers. I'm Lucy Ferris, head librarian of the Morningstar archives. And today, we're getting back into Tavern Talk, which we didn't play last week. I can't even remember if we did a week before, but I don't think so. And it's time to get back into it. It's a fun little visual novel type game. I heartily recommend it, especially with how cute everything is. Also, they did an update talking about the new wishlist DNC. What are they calling it? Asking to wishlist the DLC. Because it's going to be called Tempest Tantrum, at least for the moment. Maybe that'll update. And they also just got Twitch integration, which I'm not doing this time. It's not quite as deep as other Twitch integration things where it's pretty much the audience can choose the paths we take for me, which is fine. Also, there's a Kickstarter for a sticker collection, which I will probably be participating in, because I do like collecting fun little stickers and whatnot. Oh, yes, here we are. Here's where I left off in this version. The other one, I'm only 2 chapters ahead, because I've not had as much time as I'd like for playing games for myself. But hopefully soon. Let me read just what this is. There we go. Good morning. Good morning, Clay. Did you sleep well? I slept. I dreamed about the whale a lot. I can't get its song out of my head. That doesn't sound very restful. It wasn't. At home, we write songs for our dead. Melodies that help them on their way to Tuat, like a musical torch. I think maybe the whale just knew what I needed to mourn it. What have you been dreaming about, Tia? Stars, surely messages from Lady Cassiopeia that are meant to guide me. Maybe that's her way of comforting you. She doesn't need to comfort me. And yet, she still does. Anyhow, I see you had time to prepare the quest. Wonderful. Let's get started. Let's take this one step at a time. Clay, did you find the time to make some bread? I did. Decided on potato bread. I made you your own loaf, so you can share it with your guests. I handed it to your little purple friend and told him to keep an eye on it. Well, that's gone. Thank you for feeding my familiar, Clay. Of course. Did you enjoy the bread yesterday? Very much. I think we needed it. We both couldn't sleep, so we had some bread and just talked. I think it was a pleasant way to wind down. And what did you talk about? Ferrets, I hope? Not quite. Many things. One sec. Forgot the desktop audio so you guys can hear this wonderful music. I should probably bring it up a bit too. That's a lot quieter than normal. There, now you guys should get some of that sweet, sweet ambiance. The ones with the flower dresses and mini axes. I don't have any siblings or cousins, but Tia said she's gonna make little star lamps for my parents' garden. Is that so? He offered to cook for my family, and I can't offer to cook for his. My cooking skills are unimportant to my destiny. But I thought if I were to visit, it would be appropriate to bring some sort of thank you gift. And who wouldn't want some stars in their garden? Especially now. That sounds lovely. Have you ever visited the Highlands before? No, not thus far, though I have always wanted to. Our snow dragon building competitions are famous. I've never heard of those. Oh, but they do sound intriguing. When I was young, one of my favorite stories that Elysian told me was that of the ever-burning flame. It is said to have been a gift from Leviathan to the first mortals. Along with it, he bestowed the power of elemental manipulation upon his chosen. I vaguely recall there being another version where one of his guardians stole the flame from him instead. Blasphemous hearsay is all that is. We should be thankful for the gifts he has given us. I've always wanted to pay my respects to the flame. And it just happens to still be burning in an ancient temple in the Highlands, keeping the hope of Asteria alive for eternity. So I'm looking forward to seeing it in person sooner rather than later, and with a local guide no less. I've never visited before either, but once I went to the... Sure. But once I went to the Autumn Glow Festival in Verica, you will see the temple from there. Or I think something about the way I do Clay's voice just induces yawning for some reason. The Autumn Glow Festival? What's that about? I'm sure he can tell you all about it another time. Please, let's get back to the quest. I have one more thing to ask. Fine. One more. Ooh. I can't remember what I had asked in the other run I did. I'm pretty sure it was not your favorite animal, so I'll ask that here. What's your favorite animal? Why? I'm curious. I'm not sure. I've never been asked that before. You don't know what your favorite animal is? No. Do the dragons count? Not sure if you want to call a dragon an animal. You're right. That would be blasphemous. It would also be correct. And funny. But their egos wouldn't take it. Tia, we have to figure out what your favorite animal is. Why? It doesn't matter. Of course it does. Getting to know yourself. It is Clay's voice, huh? Getting to know yourself is one of the most wonderful experiences in the universe. I know myself. And yet, you don't know what your favorite animal is. But don't worry. We'll figure it out. Together. Doesn't that sound fun, Tia? It doesn't. But thank you. Of course. Now, that quest. Of course. Should I add a quest about finding out what your favorite animal is? All innkeepers a tease. Yes. No. Don't worry, innkeeper. I'll put one together myself. Thank you, Clay. So I'm assuming you're going together. Unfortunately, I was going to go alone, but Clay insisted on coming along. Why is that unfortunate? It's a very dangerous quest, and he is not practiced in the ways of a divine warrior. Could you imagine if he tried to befriend some bleak stalkers? That would make for a fun story, I think. But if you really want to do this alone, you could just go by yourself. Who would make her fresh bread, then? Exactly. Fresh bread. That makes sense. Plus, I need to meet those bleak stalkers. I've never seen any before, and I can't wait to find out what they like to eat. You. You. They like to eat you. Only if they're hungry. Could you at least try to be reasonable, Clay? I am. Local creatures can be very helpful. I know they can be dangerous too. Sorry? I know they can be dangerous too. Of course, it's important to have your guard up, so you can defend yourself if you're scared. Generally, if you approach anything non-violently, they'll like you more. Maybe the innkeeper can give us some extra charisma too, so we can convince them to help us out. I could offer you some honey flowers as well. They can be very inspiring, even to bleak stalkers. I think so, at least. I've never tested that one out, actually. We could test it for you. Nonsense. We need to head into this knowing we'll have to fight our way out. The name Bleak Stalkers doesn't exactly inspire confidence in their hospitality. Not to mention, there could very well be many more dangerous monsters roaming the abandoned Everbloom. Jesus Christ, self. It's like we had a nap and everything today. We need to refresh our strength and hope that our mortal weapons will do enough damage to them. If that's the concern, I could offer you some citron. It's infused with divine properties that'll bless your weapon strikes. With a little help from the dragons, no creature should be able to withstand you, no matter how bleak. Yes, when indeed, Baringo. Welcome, welcome. As you can see, we're back in Tavern Talk, and there are split opinions on how to handle some things that are known as bleak stalkers. Actually, wait, I can bring up the quest thing here, can't I? Nope, that's rumors, quests, here we go. And, here it is. If that wasn't enough, the mountains are also said to be haunted by nightmarish bleak stalkers. Let's just hope they don't find abandoned archives cozy and inviting. As, these two here are going to look into some lost archives from time long ago for some information that might help with the current predicament of stars falling from the sky. Well, voice actor for all three for this game, and being beset upon by yawns for no reason. I napped enough, I've had plenty to eat today, but my body is like, no, you shall yawn in the middle of voice acting. But yeah, we will do our best to do this. Yeah, she wants the power to make sure they can slay any bleak stalkers that are not known for being friendly. Meanwhile, Clay here thinks that, a little try-hardiness and the right drink will be more than enough. Citron can only be found deep within the Forbidden Valley. How would you even have access to that? Oh, you know. No, I don't actually. Anyway, I think both of your strategies could work, and we're going to ignore that question. Strength and Citron will let you fight your way through any danger in no time. But the right mix of defense, charisma, and honey flowers might offer a more unconventional solution. Can you help us decide? I don't want to argue. Sure, Clay. Ondu. Wonderful Ondu. Who I apparently have not pet. Oh, wait, yeah, the last time I pet him was during the demo, so I guess that does not carry over. Shame. So let's see. That's charisma. And defense. 1,000 wins. No, because that's only got 2 defense. It's only... It's 1, possibly 2 charisma. Let's try and get... No, that's only 1 charisma. Nope. Sure. Oh, no. I guess it's just not an option. That sucks. So what we got? We have a choice of First Snow or Frosted Lagoon, huh? Let's see. Make you feel comfortable, safe, bracing you with frosty taste. Protects you from any physical and spiritual harm, cools you down on even the hottest days. Yeah, I guess we'll go Frosted Lagoon. This needs to be honey flowers. Oh, we can't do Frosted Lagoon because that needs... Sorry, this is going to give speed shoot. Okay, so it has to be First Snow then. Shame. Okay, there we go, there's that. Now to just all in on defense. 1, 2, 3, Wait, I almost forgot. Some for my boy Ondu as well. There we go. Send on over the First Snow. God, another yawn. God, damn human bodies having weaknesses and the need to yawn and hiccup and bullshit like that. I would love to hear the story about you befriending those bleak stalkers. Or at the very least, how their teeth were no match against your armor, or your pecs. And a new approach couldn't hurt. Exactly. I would like less dead creatures this time. Fine. I trust your judgment, innkeeper. Good. You should. Thank you for your help, innkeeper. But we should be going now. Indeed. Wait, why are you in such a hurry? Yesterday I met Fable at the farmer's market. They helped me pick out the right potatoes. Then they invited me to their barbecue on the 31st of Cassiopeia. So we need to make it back in time for that. You can always leave early if it takes too long. Takes too long. Thank you for the Wilhelm Barango. Hopefully Wilhelm survives the fall. Though I'm certain he did not have a good trip before it. But welcome back. And what about you? What about me? You're also coming. I have to work. You also have to eat. Saving the world is bound to make you hungry. And you might even have fun. Who knows? I will consider it. Let's hurry then. Let's... Innkeeper, can you let Fable know we'll be back in time? Of course. I'll let them know as soon as they grace my tavern with their presence again. Oh yeah, Grace should know too. I think she's bringing her famous fortune nuggets. I'll tell her as well. I wish you a successful quest. It shall be so. See you soon. Alrighty, well, now that Barango is here, before we start the next section of the day proper, I have a fun story for earlier today. As some of you know, Sunday mornings I play in a campaign rather than running one. And today we were infiltrating a ball held by one of 3 aristocratic families of the city. The vampires being the very fun one. And during the course of it, our party unearthed some information, some very good blackmail fuel if need be. And I, in particular, got to do something very, very fun. Reminder of those who maybe haven't been here before, can't recall the last streams I've talked about her, I play as Morgwin, the Paladin, which is probably strange to think of because through the DM, who started running a one free feat at character creation in their campaigns, they allowed me to take what is it? Dragonhide? Oh, I'm not that sort of paladin, don't worry. But yeah, believe it's called the Dragonhide feat. Typically only for Dragonborn, but he also let me reflavor the mechanics of the Dragonborn to just be a half elf who's picked up a few tricks after traveling in the Feywild as a fire breather in a interplanar carnival, and it's very fun. And I'm an Ancients Paladin, which means it's very nature themed, which I thought really worked well with the backstory of her as well. Just orphaned, left in the Feywild, picked up by the carnival that raised her. Very fun. Yes, Green Knight types. Whereas I was losing track. Oh yeah, so my paladin actually has lower AC if she wears armor, because the Dragonhide feat gives you a natural armor class. And by taking that, I'm actually able to go pure dex on a paladin. It's very nice. Which means I can also use finesse weapons, going well with the kind of flaming sword dancer type of entertainer that she is. But yeah, typically the way I sum up who Morgwin is as a character is that she is not an attention whore. She does not care for getting people's attention for her own benefit. She's a distraction whore. If it would benefit her friends, she has plenty of fun running the distraction, being the, oh hey, look over here, look at me, and just ripping off some tearaway clothes, with something tasteful underneath, of course. But anyway, infiltrated this vampire aristocrat's party, and parallel to some of my party members finding out, oh, her husband is having an affair and a mistress, and here are letters that he has received, and we're pretty sure it's the chef of the party. Chronologically, the same time that is being revealed by them, my character is cozying up to the lady vampire. And even better as a setup for that, because she has been described this evening as being more or less stuck in her chair and either very upset or having a very bad case of resting bitch face. It's just like, hey, you seem like a gambler type fellow party goer, so here's a gamble. Whoever wins can ask one thing of the other, whether a question or an action that be done in a single night. Wink, wink. And the prize goes to whoever can get this lady to smile first. So not only have I entered into a wager with a fellow party goer and help potentially create big distractions for the rest of my party members by having me and this guy try and make her laugh, I later succeeded. Which means I also had his help for what she had to ask of me. And I laid it on the innuendos thick. It's like, why, hello, my lady. I see a lady of your station meeting many a hand, and I wish to offer my own. To gain employment under you for the rest of my days. Just innuendo. And she actually came right back. It's like, oh, don't worry, I have a task for you, after which we might see about you having a position above me instead. It's like, oh, fuck yes, goth mommy. Which you did not say in character, because that's not the type of character I was. But also, to answer your question, Baringo, not gay paladin, it's more, who cares about gender? It's, you're an interesting person, that's all she cares about. But yeah, I had fun getting to just lean into that aspect of my character for a night. Like I said, I managed to get her to laugh with, by way of a little later after doing a party girl type of performance, just dancing and such on the floor. Take one person who's taking a just stack break and it's like, join me, sir. And taking the masculine position, leading the dance, spun him around while I stealthily poured out a vial of oil. And after we reached the end of the vial, I said, here's a particular exotic dance I learned in the cold, cold reaches of the south, and just physically spun him back at the trail of oil we left behind. Ah, that was great. But yeah, it turns out she took me up on the offer, and the test to prove my skill, how deft my hands could be at creating accidents. She asked for me to somehow get the chef of the party out for the evening, whether it be by getting killed or just profusely embarrassed that they might leave. She didn't care. And with the wager won, it's like, hey, could you just, start a fight or something with this NPC in particular? And they bumped into him with a oops, causing them to spill a bunch of hot soups and whatnot over a very influential guest. And on their way out, kind of led by two guards on each side, my unseen servant just got caught up in their legs and made it seem like they were trying to resist arrest against these guards. Just further embarrassment on the way down the stairs where they tripped and heavily landed. So not only did I achieve my little test by leaps and bounds, the party who had at the same chronological time found proof of letters from this mistress to the Lord, was able to get back to the ballroom, sneakily hand them over to me. I find one, looked it open, it's like, okay, I'll go get my reward from the lady, and at the same time prove that I go above and beyond any task I set my hands to. And just drip more such innuendos like that as I hand it over to her secretly and get a nice fat bag of gold. I just realized I was not told how much that was. One sec, let me just really quickly type that message off. I won't send until after stream to not accidentally do a conversation, but I should make sure the DN tells me. Hey, how much gold is in that bag that you gave me? There you go. Minimize Discord. I'll send that later. But yeah, we ended the session a little after that, where some secretive meeting behind closed doors is about to start. My own character not having an invitation to it, so I'll just have to hide away nearby the doors in case things go to hell, as my party is actually within. So yeah, fun story from earlier today. I thought you guys would enjoy it. Why? Well, much success, including totally in character flirting with a goth mommy type. And everyone loves just, ladies loving ladies. The triple L, as you would call it. And I have not yawned a single time, so maybe, just maybe, we can go the rest of the stream without that. If my body would listen. Okay. So what are done? See, how did I do Archie? Something like fabulous and extra, because they do seem to be of noble birth. Greetings, innkeeper. Hello, Archie. Good to see you again. It's always a delight to be here. It makes me feel like I'm part of something bigger already. I'm glad to hear that. Speaking of which, were you able to help those farmers out? Oh, yes. Talking to Fable was truly inspiring. They were so right. The farmers really had no interest in golds or other riches. So instead, I helped them with reconstructing their lands, barns, houses, with my own 2 hands. I even got some blisters from it. Painful blisters, but remnants of my first ever heroic deed. Very exciting and painful. But now that I think about it, do you have a recipe for a drink that could help out in this specific situation? I want to be able to help out every single farmer with ease. I want to lift the heaviest logs and steel myself for the most stubborn of splinters. You're right. A drink like that is still missing from my recipe book. Let me think of something. Oh, thank you dearly. There we go, the steel tonic. When I was making my way to your tavern, I walked past an astounding duo of adventurers. A stunning seraph and a massive half-giant. They were so utterly impressive. I aspire to be like them someday. It feels like I'm in a book, like I delved headfirst into one of the stories on my bookshelf. Magic and adventures surrounding me with every step, and unknown lurking dangers in the shadows. This is all so exciting. But now I'm just daydreaming. Originally, I came here seeking one of your magical drinks. Of course. What would you like? Preferably something that'll help me defend myself from devious dangers, like splinters in my hands. And the drink I had last time did... Well, I presume it did something. But those splinters were a real nuisance, I'll tell you that. I got you, don't worry. Okay, steel tonic. There we go, we draw, and we have to figure out what to do. So, other bonuses, they can only benefit dexterity, that's right. Offense or defense. Nope, that's out because of mental, out because of charisma. Charisma again. Technically, Citron would help, even though it also gives holy damage, more or less. Ooh, this would also help because fire resistance. This as well, which gives a frost shield, which also helps with further defense. Yep. What's this one? No, that's out because it gives mental. So we have the pine cones of just a frost shield or fire resistance specifically. I think frost shield is the way to go. We are definitely going to need it because this has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, and we can only put 5 normally. Let's see. Oh, wait a second. No, we should still be able to do it even with that minus, because it's saving us from 2 levels. So we will do one at the top and the bottom of the glass. In fact, we'll make it a palindrome of colors, like this. Wait. Yes, like that. I miscounted for a second there. There we go. We have the steel tonic. And just a little bit for Ondu, my special boy. There we go. Pet. Yeah. Good boy. His eyes sparkle. Yeah. Nice. Okay, steel tonic for a up-and-coming adventurer type. Let's protect those fragile little hands from splinters. Protection against your arch nemesis, splinters. Here you go, Archie. I can already feel my skin getting tougher. Or is that a rash? Helping people grow calluses is my secret party trick. Maybe I should bring my friend here someday. Your drink-mixing magic is quite peculiar, really. Oh, your friend? Is he from Windmore as well? That is correct. I've known him since we were kids. Mostly due to our parents being of similar wealth and influence. I think we were kind of chosen to be friends. We decided to write each other letters when he's not here in Zenith. He's actually in a kind of dire situation right now. You see, he's a diplomat, deeply involved in the whole Dyria mainland negotiations. Due to him nearly getting kidnapped during his last business trip to Dyria, he decided to fire his entire personal security crew, as you do when you're a rich boy from a rich family. If you ask me, his reaction was a little over the top, but I don't interfere with his decisions, so now he doesn't have any bodyguards, and I would like to help him. But honestly, I have no clue what to do. He definitely doesn't need my money, just like the farmers didn't. He's got more than enough of it as it is. I mean, if you're brave enough, you could volunteer to be his bodyguard. Splendid idea. I like how you think, innkeeper. But I don't know if I'd be strong enough, even with your magically infused drinks. He might need more protection than I could offer. Well, I still do that thing with the quests. Oh, you're right. I could just hang up a quest on your pinboard. And then some brave adventurers will offer to help us out. My friend means the world to me. I would never forgive myself if something happened to him. So, you're looking for the best bodyguards in Zenith? Absolutely. Well, I already have some folks in mind that are more than qualified to do the job. Let's just hope that my quest writing skills are enough to attract just the right people. Do you write a lot? No. Yes. Sometimes. I love to write stories about cunning and courageous adventurers. Somehow they always manage to get out of the most dreadful situations by cheating death multiple times. But that's, well, writing doesn't really fit the image of a heroic adventurer himself, does it? Why would I dream of other people's journeys if I could live the tales myself? You've got a fair point. Also, it's always easier to write about things you've experienced firsthand. Absolutely. No, I can't wait to see my friend again and help him out. I'll be more than prepared. Fable also offered to teach me how to use a bow. How could I say no to such an enticing offer, given taught by the fable of the Ashen Grove themselves? It's more than I could have ever dreamed of. They also mentioned another friend of theirs, an imposing Vukakin lady named Carolyn. Do you know her by any chance? Oh, Carolyn? Yes, I know her quite well. She's quite the local legend. I'm surprised you hadn't heard of her. She single-handedly outsmarted a wyvern chimera. That's incredible! Oh, this tavern is full of hidden treasures. Apparently, Lady Carolyn is bored because her newest protege is on a mission and hasn't returned. Wait. Wouldn't that be something I, the innkeeper, would say, or... So she'll be joining my training with... Okay, that makes more sense. You met her there. Oh, you are in for a ride, Archie. How thrilling. I nearly can't contain my excitement. But for now, I've got to think of the right words for the job posting. Oh, don't worry about that. Assembling quests for patrons is one of my services. Really? That would be so helpful. I got you. You have the perfect crew of bodyguards for your friend assembled in no time. Trust me. He did not trust enough. Oh no. Thank you so much. And also, thank you for the drink. Coming here is always a delightful source of inspiration. I'm always happy to help, Archie. Till then, innkeeper. See you next time, adventurer. Oh. Hey, how's it going? Hello. Come on in. This is a cute little tavern. I'm not gonna lie. Wasn't that convinced from the outside, but the interior is really adorable. Not a sip. Yeah. And toss that bottle because it is empty. I'm glad. Are you accustomed to more opulent exteriors? Oh, for sure. But I do enjoy the cozy feeling of a simple tavern. You know, it's good being away from the hustle and bustle of the big city sometimes. I get that. Are you new in town? I am. How'd you know? It's been a while since I last saw a phantasm around here, that's all. I just took a guess. Oh, I see. I came here straight from the capital. Just need a moment to breathe. You get me? Oh, I do. That's why I settled here, on the outskirts of Zenith. This town is big enough for me to never run out of work, but small enough to not feel overwhelmed. Yeah, exactly. So, you run this business innkeep? Correct. Just me, my familiar, and this tavern. Oh, and all the regulars that come, too, of course. Of course. And with whom do I have the pleasure today? Perhaps one of my next regulars? Oh, who knows? Maybe. The name's Voyage, but you may call me Voy. All right. Voy. Got it. What can I do for you today? Well, I mean, a drink would be the way to go, I suppose. Wait, don't tell me you haven't heard of me. Of course I have. You're Voy, the famous bard, traveling the land, stealing hearts, captivating everyone with your voice, music, and good looks. I doubt there's anyone who hasn't at least heard your name before, even here in Zenith. Oh, you flatter me. Yeah, that's me. Glad to make your acquaintance. You've only heard good things, I hope. I've never heard a bad thing about you. How about that? I can guarantee I've not heard a bad thing about you. Mostly. Wouldn't count numerous broken hearts as good, honestly. Branko saying, I now want to be an RPG campaign of some form where you get to be a sometimes flirty, probably bisexual gremlin. Yeah, it's fun, let me tell you. Morgwin, my paladin, may not be so much of the gremlin side, but no one is safe from her flirtations. Not always for work. Sometimes it's just fun to see someone squirm and go red in the face, you know? Yeah, that's true, but I can't help it. Everyone seems to just naturally fall in love with me. But how about that drink first? If the drink is good enough, maybe you'll be the first to win my dear heart. We'll have to see about that, boy. But having you taste one of my creations sounds like a good plan to me. Is there something specific you would like? No. You surprise me with something that'll make me even more irresistible, like a real Prince Charming. Something full of charm, then. That I can do. What's the biggest one we got? That's only a 5. 5. Dang. I guess we don't have... Oh, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, this is 6. Okay, I just misread. We have the 1,000 winds swept up the 1,000 winds. You become as charming and elusive as their elemental messengers. Somehow that feels exactly like resting on a tropical island. enjoying a refreshing drink and pleasant company. Its airy swirls are perfect for avoiding unwanted questions. Let's see, we do have to do something to get to a 6. Can't do that because mental. Citron, no. Yes, that'll do. The wings of haste. Yes, undo. The goodest boy. Okay, we don't need any more swiftness. We will end it with a charisma as well as start it. It's 2 of these. This. Yes, very round, very squish. Oh, I can't pet him when he's got the eye out. And just look at those eyes. You can tell that there's nothing going on inside that skull but elevator music. But that only makes him more lovable. You know what? Just a bit more charm. Can't hurt him. Okay, 1,000 wins for Voyage. May this drink give you an untwistable silver tongue. Oh, this is good. Nearly as good as my musical talent. I have a feeling this drink might influence your next performance. Will it boost my charisma even further? You'll have to wait and see. Let's just say you might want to come back afterwards to get another drink. Oh, now you're teasing me. How about you tell me more about you now? Didn't you want me to get to know you better? Hold on tight to your counter, innkeeper, because I'm about to knock your socks off. Don't know why holding counter will keep my socks on my feet, but you might know something I don't. Bring it on. So, right in front of you is the one and only Voy. Traveller of lands, stealer of hearts, and the most famous bard in all of Visoa. He is very cute, and I do love the boldness of the shirt open to... What is that? Is that waist that's there? Yeah, because his hips that are actually at, like, where thigh meets torso, waist is up here, and then this particularly placed right where a belly button would be. Also, wait, I just noticed it's a star and a moon, so it's like the night sky. That's funny. Not only because of his immaculate talent, but also because of his good looks, I might add. I'm fairly impressed. Of course you are. Might ask for an autograph later on. But what brings you here, boy? As I said, I just needed a breath of fresh air. A short break from the big city. Is it hard being famous? Not really, no. But maybe a little bit sometimes. But making music and performing is my job, and I absolutely love it. So it's not a big deal, really. It just makes me cherish the quieter moments. It makes sense to me. Would it be cool if I kept you in your little familiar company for a bit? Absolutely. Make yourself at home, boy. Nice. That brings us to the night phase. Before the next person comes in, who I do particularly like. This will be the first time on stream we have gone to the character ones. Because I want to see what the innkeeper put Foy down as. Here it is. So Voyage, Phantasm, a he, him, bard. He's from Trigarin. Alignment would be chaotic good, and his arcana is the sun. I'm blanking on what the sun is. Funnily enough, it's not what I typically get when I do readings. But we can look that up at a later date. So Voy, short for Voyage, is a very famous bard working in the capital. He needed a short break from all the fame and troubles being a musician comes with, and ended up here in Zenith. He's a particularly flirty fellow, though he falters when you happen to match his energy, which, fucking mood. It's really hard to enjoy flirting with someone when they flirt back. It's like I'm not ready for this. I was just trying to have fun. Oh no. And yeah, and these update for every character. Which let's go to Fable, who's been around the longest, and we should have full for here. We don't. Wait, why have we not? We've been through so much with her. I guess Carolyn. Carolyn's only got one. I know. How do we have two for Alphonse Louis Frederic Duquet de Sang? But not the fucking lady Fable who's been with us. Sorry, they, them Fable who's been with us since the beginning. So we have two for Alethea. John. Just an eco. Really, strange. Huh, I could have sworn at this point in the story we'd have someone with 3 entry. I mean, like, there's definitely room for it, right? But anyway. Here is my favorite cameo of the game. The wonderful fantasy tavern keeper over on TikTok. Quincy's Tavern. Of which there are fun story type moments. There are fun looking at recipes that they show off. But I just like their vibe. It's great fun. Definitely recommend it. Usually it's my role to ask that, but given the circumstances, I'll humor you. Well, this is my tavern, and it has come a long way. Love the color of the walls. A new coat. It's been a good few years since my last renovation. But yes, I thought it was time to accept some change into my life. Thought so. What is life if not the constant changing of the self? Oh, actually, Brandon, maybe you remember the previous stream when we mused on whether the vampire lady might have been trans, and one of the reasons I thought not, because one, they're going to be fought, potentially killed off screen, but the other being, like, Quincy, as a TikTok performer, actually only has a few fingers on each hand. And I'm pretty sure I said that other stream too. I don't know if it's an accident or a genetic thing, but the fact that they're willing to actually show it like this rather than like normalize him or whatever is what makes me believe that at the very least they're not going to make trans women a enemy, let alone one that is just killed off screen, where no one can really like think of them as a real character rather than just something to dispose of. But yeah, it's I like that little detail. I feel it's important for them as a character that it's not a big thing, which is how it should be for more disabilities. Unless you're making a point about the disability itself, it's just a character description. Like how Voy has these, what is it, not bull, I think it's a goat that has a type of horn like that. Or how he has just a shoulder armor, but nothing else. Yeah, I like those little details. Oh, how I miss your endless wisdom, Quincy. I can only imagine, innkeeper. Oh yeah, I know goats have a lot. I just mean like, I think this particular one where it goes up a little bit, then turns, I'm pretty sure that's a goat-only thing. You look like you might be in need of a refreshment, Quincy. How about a drink? Yes, long journey. Surprised me something as charismatic as your little establishment. Alrighty. We'll do the same we did for Voy, but we will do the other benefit. Yeah, it wasn't that. There it is. Wait, no. Yeah, that's inspiration. I gave haste to Voy, that's right. So here we go. We're going to do defense at the end to protect him from the alcohol levels of this drink. Charisma at the top. To get the words flowing easier. Order up. I almost want to get just a small, announcement bell so I can do order up. Ting ting! But it's too far into the series to start that now. Here you go. Liquid charisma. My specialty. This tastes magical. Seems like you've improved a good deal since last time. Practice makes perfect, after all. Indeed. So, what brings you to this corner of the worlds? I'm looking for the feathers of a peculiar little bird. They're said to only reside in this neighborhood. Or continent, rather. What bird? The golden loon. I didn't mean to eavesdrop, but the golden loon? They're quite beautiful to behold. If I were you, I'd look for them near a big lake. That's where they usually hang out. But only in Fasoa. Hence why I came all this way. Oh, plumage of gold, glistening in lights of day, a traveler's bold. That would be a very poetic way to greet them. Tell that to the stupid Song of Vigor Guild. They didn't like it. Nah, they don't like anything that is mainstream. Like subtext. But isn't that what lyrical works are all about? Pouring your heart and soul into something for others to take in. And only if you push away the layers and read between the lines will you find the true meaning. Exactly my thinking. It's just that now, I'm afraid that they'd laugh at me. Or remember me as the bard without a heart. All because they don't understand. There's nothing wrong with being afraid. Fear can sometimes keep us safe from danger. Particularly good watchwords now, but also, this is the type of stuff he talks about on his TikToks too. So the characterization is also quite close. I like it for that. But something to keep in mind is that fear does not stop death. It stops life. Do you enjoy your art? Yeah. I want others to enjoy it too. I, for one, greatly enjoyed your Golden Loon haiku. Me as well. Oh, innkeeper, thank you. You shouldn't base your value on whether people like what you create or not. There'll always be those who don't get it, and those who find themselves in it. Do it for the people who appreciate your art, but most importantly, do it for yourself. That's one way to look at it. I imagined all of this so differently. Way easier, for sure. Moving from Tregarin, the smallest of towns, to the big city. I'd always dreamt of joining the SOV Guild. Then they promptly rejected me. But, I'm Voyage, and I don't give up because of things like that. I don't need a guild to get out there and share my music. All I need is me and my Hagium. That's right. I've seen many people spend too much time giving attention to those who will never understand them. My 2 cents: live for what you believe in, and allow others to make their own decisions. That's what I'm doing. Good. But, unfortunately, I have to leave now. Gotta find those loons before it gets dark. It was nice having you around, Quincy. Until next time, and don't forget, take care of yourself, innkeeper. And be safe out there, Voyage. You too. Nice guy. Yes, he's an old friend. Didn't know you do. Friends. Perhaps we could be friends too, innkeeper? Not yet. Oh. Maybe one day. Hey, it's our jellyfish shirt wearing friend. Welcome back. Oh, quick, innkeep, give me your strongest drink. This is an emergency. What happened? It's absolutely urgent. Relationships are on the line. Not lives? Listen, innkeep, I'll tell you the story, don't worry. But you gotta be a little patient because Baya really needs a drink first. Yes, please. What do you need? The same as last time? Oh, that one was really delicious. I'd love to taste it again. Please. Got it. I'll get you something that'll make you feel sturdy as tree bark again. Okay, so that is a lot of defense. Oh, come on. I know there's 3 for here. There we are. The Frosted Lagoon. And we'll keep it simple. Charisma to end it. Keep her talkative. To fight off the bad feelings. To protect herself from any more that try to come their way. Ringos. Let's see. That's a different take on those fancy sometimes. Oh, yeah. Her prosthetic is not a hook hand like you'd expect from a pirate nautical type disability. It's a crochet hook, and there was actually a joke about that on her last appearance. It's great fun. Though also, I think this is also supposed to be hers here in the background. I mean, it's the same type of design, and she hadn't been here in a while, so it's possible she had left it. But there you go, Paya. My strongest drink to the rescue. Thank you. This is good. Oh, thanks, dragons. That pause made me so nervous. I really thought they would mess it up. I'm right here. Thanks for having so much faith in me, Una. You're welcome. But, Paya, are you feeling better now? Yes, at least a little bit. That's good to hear. Please, fill me in on the situation. I've never seen you this upset, Baya, and you have to endure the Bloom Tide Festival every year. You're right. So, I have this group of friends. They're girlfriends. We 3 have been inseparable for at least a few centuries. But now... very insensitive, asking, emotionally vulnerable, and sweet girl, what's troubling her, innkeeper? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to be rude. It's okay. See Bringo saying, I think my favorite take is in Leaf and Thorn, where Birch has a Magitech prosthetic leg, which has foot attachments. Notably one that's a rowing clamp. That is pretty funny. How about I tell them what's going on, Baya? So you don't have to strain yourself. Thank you. Okay, so Sweet Baya over here has had a long-lasting group of friends, right? Oh, hey, fingers are almost touching. Right. They're a trio, inseparable for at least a few hundred years. And they're an adorable trio, might I add? The Swamp Monster, the Banshee, and the Mary Morgan. Ah, yes, the Mary Morgan, the wrathful spirit that is known to drown men. Lesbian couple? Predictable. I've heard she doesn't really differentiate between genders, though. Yep, that's right. Anyways, Mary Morgan, Banshee are a couple. So I figured, having for a while. I recall them coming in by once or twice. But right now, how should I put it? They're in a domestic dispute. For some reason, the two have completely stopped talking to each other. They even refuse to show up to Baya's monthly tea parties, insisting they'll only come if the other isn't invited. Why? I don't know. It's like they don't like each other anymore. And soon, they won't like me anymore either. It does smell like a breakup. Let's let's not catastrophize. I don't want my friend group to fall apart. People have always left me because I scare them. I don't want them to leave me too. Now, I'm sure they won't. Say something, innkeeper. I did this one in my run, so I'm going to do, even if they do break up, you'll be fine. You'll find new friends. I'm sure of it. Now, that's reassuring. I'm just trying to be realistic. Oh, don't listen to them. But what if they're right? What if they do break up? What if they really leave me? I just wish there was something I could do to help them. If I may just add my 2 cents real quick. Hi, I'm Voy, short for Voyage. You might have heard of me before. I'm pretty famous. No. Doesn't ring any bells, sorry. Anyway, so, Baya. That's your name, right? Mm-hmm. What's keeping you from getting to know other people? Like, you seem really chill. Well, usually everyone's afraid of me. The innkeeper's always been nice to me. I trust them. And I've known Una for a while now. Didn't she pick endangered flowers from your backyard last time you met? Yes. That bouquet was really cute. I know, right? You meet a lot of people when you travel across the lands, looking for potential clients for work. And honestly, I've seen stranger creatures than her in my years as an adventurer. I like how sometimes the captions just mess up when I do Una's voice. It's fun. Baya's also really cute under all that moss and kelp. Oh, shush. I mean, you might look a little terrified, that's true. But maybe you just have to figure out how to get through to people. I'm sure they'd want to be your friends. I don't know about that. Usually they try to burn me. Luckily, I don't scar easily. Ooh, what a nice metaphor. Might have to use that in a new song if you don't mind. Perhaps hurting you over and over again, just because they're afraid. Oh wait, people. Sorry, people hurting you over just because they're afraid. Hex is leaving you, but you always manage to get over them. It's not metaphor. Once every few moons, people surround me with torches and pitchforks. Yeah. Same voice, same. Oh. Well, that's unfortunate. You don't say, kid. But honestly, I know how you feel. Sometimes facing people is terrifying when you feel so different. But there's always something to love about everyone, like my handsome smile or enchanting voice. Maybe people would enjoy my spa. You run a spa? That's fantastic! Yes. You should come visit sometime, Voy. That's short for voyage. Um, just Voy is fine. Do you want to come too, Una? I'd love to, yes. There's nothing more soothing for old bones than a nice swamp bath. Do you get a lot of customers? No. None. Maybe I can change that. Let me advertise your spa at my next performance. I would love that. Thank you. No worries, Paya. Why don't you get back to your girlfriends? Innkeep, don't you know someone that could help them out? This situation is kind of tricky. They might need a mediator. I can absolutely hang up a quest for you if you want. That would be great. Thank you so much. Of course, make my patrons happy is part of my job. Now who's a sweet talker? But now I have to wait, right? Yes, unfortunately. How about you show around your spa in the meantime? It would be my pleasure. And once we're back, there will be a solution for your two friends. No pressure. There's a millennium-long relationship on the line. Remember that. Absolutely no pressure. I'll see what I can do. Thank you. See you around then, innkeeper? Yeah, see ya. Oh, I can't wait to feel how smooth my skin is after a mud mask. You think I can take my crochet hook with me? Alrighty, I am going to very quickly take a break because I need another drink. And we still have about 40 minutes to go. I'm not going to do a timer because it's just going to be short, maybe a minute and a half at most. So I will see you guys really soon. Sorry about that. I am back. Okay, and just in case anyone else is not back yet from jumping up, getting their own drink or snack or restroom break, that is why we left it on this screen. So, let's see. I know I need to get the ones about the Mary Morgan. So this one. Let's see, not this one. There we go, another Mary Morgan. We need one with the Banshee. There it is. Here we are. The quest hints the Mary Morgan and the Banshee are a loving couple most of the time, but their current fight has their very best friend Baya very worried. On the riverbanks of the Shiver Mare hides the Mary Morgan, a wrathful spirit prone to drowning men, women, and everything in between. And the Banshee is haunting the Lonesome Lagoon, wailing a song that will shatter your bones, hopefully hyperbole. So this gives direction to where they currently are and why you need to find them to mediate. Giving us the quest, the Lagoon of Tranquility. Sorry, big meaty cough there. The Mary Morgan, known for her passion for drowning trespassers, and the Banshee, singer of bone-shattering songs in the Lonesome Lagoon, are two terrifying creatures. In love. But because of a mysterious dispute, their relationship is on the line. Their best friend, the swamp witch Baya, do anything to keep her friend group from shattering. Couples counselor sorely needed. The other one is the diplomat, Indiria. No. There it is. There's the other Deary one. So, Diplomat fired his entire personal guard and is now looking for new fighters to protect him from the dangers of a business trip. Daria seems very unsafe at the moment, at least for cattle. A few animals have not returned home in a while. There are also a crash of spinal rhinos collapsed a canal bridge connecting Daria to the mainland, spawning the worst thing of all, budget discussions. Giving us this other quest, Fatal Company. Political tension ensued when the canal bridge connecting Daria to the mainland collapsed, especially because spinal rhinos can't exactly be held responsible. The ambassador tasked with solving this mess is a young noble, and his worried best friend insists he is still in need of a new personal guard, especially since the roads are unsafe for travelers lately. If those travelers are cattle, anyway. I always love getting new quests out. Then we end the day feeding Ondu. Doing a bit of sweeping, putting out our eternal candles. How do we know they're eternal? Well, they look the same at the end of every night. Okay. Chapter 12 takes 2. Or 3. Melli is back. Hi, we're back with John. Welcome back, Melli and Malachite. John? I'm calling him Blade now. Because I kill people with ease. Fair enough. No, because of your sharp tongue, silly. Oh. Well then, Melli, Blade, it's good to have you two back in town. I assume you were able to solve the mystery surrounding the missing familiars? Yes, with the help of my trusty assistant I was able to figure it out. God. I thought that was a sneeze, but it was a yawn lying to me. Yes, with the help of my trusty assistant, I was able to figure it out. That's remarkable, I do have to say. Good thing you went with her, Blade. It was a dangerous mission. Did you encounter a T-Rex? Of course not, but we were nearly burned alive. That's not what I would have expected. You must always expect life to double-cross you. Glad you both made it back in one piece. But I'm curious. What was the reason behind those vanishing familiars? Do I need to worry about Ondu disappearing too? How about we tell you what happened in Zoford, but only in exchange for 2 free drinks. I can see you've learned a thing or two on your first big mission. Blade taught me how to be more cunning. Only the basics. No need to be so humble. You taught her well. Blade, pat pat. What kind of drink would you like today, Melli? I want something... something that'll polish my investigative and deductive skills. A drink that'll make me even smarter than I am now, so no mysterious case like this one will ever be unsolvable for me. Coming right up. Where's the intelligence one? There it is, the Sparkling Nebula. We will start and end with the Charisma, leaving the 3 mental acuities at the end. There we go. Ignore the Homestuck colors. That's just how they are. Let's see if this will make your brain cells multiply. Thank you. Let me try. Oh, this is good. I can already feel it. I'm going to be completely unstoppable. Oh no. Oh yes. Oh yeah, the Prospect and shit, what's the other? Desper? Not the entire hemo spectrum, which is more of a color palette, I would say, with how many options. But how, yeah, Durst, that's it. It's the main 2. Dream moons, yes. Initially, I wanted to sit this one out, but I might actually need a drink now. It would be my pleasure if it means that I get to hear your story. Also, I am longing for another one of your little secrets. Right, we made a deal. The fun thing is, about this little deal thing, the other option you get is jokes, which I chose for my personal off-stream one, and they are pretty funny how hard he tries. So getting the facts is a nice little new, unexpected thing each time. Correct. So what will it be today, Blade? Maybe something that'll help me counter her verbal attacks, now that she's linguistically invincible. So the usual, right? Give me a second, I'll be right back. We'll give him a basic charisma drink, the Spoken Heart. Let's see, tack the end for a witty tongue full of comebacks, and defense, so he'll keep it separate from all the charisma he's going to be starting with. There we go. And a little bit of blue for my boy Andu. Yeah. Wonderful boy. Okay, there's the drink. This should make things easier for you. Oh. I can see it in his face. Is it that bad? Huh? No, silly, he likes it. Also, unexpected coincidence. Once again, we have the Durst Prospect colors, but also they kind of work pretty well with the others' color palette. You've got the muted, almost mustard-like yellow here with the yellow-orange gradient. Meanwhile, the darker black, this blue, going quite well with purple. You can clearly see it in the way his scarf is moving. Ah, I see. My deductive skills aren't that bad after all. You think you could teach me a thing or two sometime? Of course. Then we'll be a trio. The detective, our trusty bodyguard, and the curious apprentice. I like the sound of that. It's been a while since I've been an apprentice. I don't remember being asked if I wanted to be a part of this. But I couldn't have completed the quest without you. Also, being a detective's trusty bodyguard is an honorable duty. I'm glad you came with me. Of course. Couldn't let you walk headfirst into the open maw of a hungry T-Rex. Did you actually encounter a T-Rex in Soford? No, don't be silly. For a moment, I thought you just shared one of your many secrets with me. Right. Guess I owe you one of those now. My hair isn't actually all black. I know. That's not a secret. I can clearly see the white streak. Anyways. But now, please. I am dying to know what happened in Soford. Fine. It took us a while to get to Zoford, but we made it there eventually. Thanks to your drink, we were able to sneak around the city without attracting too much attention. Which is super important. You have to get a good feeling for a city if you want to investigate it. But we didn't have a lot of clues to start with. Just a few missing familiars and alleged ghost animals. So we started asking around. As detectives do when they want to collect some evidence. Sadly, most people didn't really want to talk to us. They probably thought Blade was some kind of burglar or thief. Probably because he is. One person also mumbled something about insurance brokers, but I had no clue what they were talking about. We started sneaking around the docks. We overheard two fishermen talking to each other. They were talking about a weird dog one of them had seen earlier that didn't behave quite dog-like. Apparently, they believed a sea witch had sent spirits hiding in the form of animals. There had been a lot of weird animals around town at that point. So people started getting wary of strange or unusual creatures. Even the non-superstitious people thought they had some kind of disease, like rabies or something. I'd also stay away from animals infected with rabies. Actually, no, this is a good time for a PSA. Don't fuck with wild animals, no matter how friendly they seem. The natural state of wild animal is not to interact with a human. It's like if a raccoon is seeming brave and willing to just approach you, back the fuck off. We talked about this in another stream about how the fear of zombies in modern horror movies can probably be connected to the ancient fears of just seeing a fellow tribesman infected with rabies or other diseases that affect how your brain works, and it just appearing uncanny creates fear. Animals that do not act like animals that are unscared of humans, are dangerous. Whether because they are infected or because, like fucking bears that eat out of trash cans, they see you as a food source, and if you are not giving them food, then you are food. Just don't fuck with wild animals. It shouldn't have to be said, goddamn. Sorry, personal gripe, had to get off my chest with this opportunity. Exactly. Who wouldn't? It's the only logical thing to do. But somehow, my detective senses were tingling. I knew I'd found a clue. I just didn't know how to connect it to the missing familiars. Yet. Maybe familiars could get infected with rabies, and that's why they were missing? But of course, the fisherman didn't talk about any magic, wizards, or familiars. Just fish! Sounds kind of obvious to me. So we kept looking for other clues. And we found one. On the ground, surprisingly. Oh. It was an old newspaper with a very interesting article on the front page. Apparently, there's something like a weekly get-together for all the town's familiars. We decided to check it out. That does sound promising. It was. At least more promising than the rabies dead end. We managed to track down a few of the participating familiars to get more insight. It was a little tricky, since none of them wanted to talk to us at first. I think they were kind of scared. Sorry. Maybe they just wanted to protect their friends. But I didn't have time for their pathetic, self-sacrificial empathy. That drink you prepared for me really did wonders. I was strong enough to overpower one of the draconic beasts. All of a sudden, they were quite eager to talk. It only took Blade a few well-executed intimidation tactics to get them to speak up. Of course, I also took some notes, so I can learn to be more threatening myself. A detective's got to know her way around, am I right? As long as you don't threaten me over a drink next time. All right. But the familiar told us something strange. They said all those familiars that went missing seemed to have been in contact with one particular magician. So of course we had to pay that wizard a visit. Preferably when he wasn't home. I think that's called burglary. All it took to find out the wizard's address was a little bit of playing around with my trusty knife. The familiar quickly told us everything we needed to know. So we let them go and made our way to the wizard's house. We managed to break in without anyone noticing. It was so exciting. We snuck around looking for evidence, maybe a hidden ritualistic chamber or something like that. And did you find one? Sadly, no. But we found his office with the door open. Inside there were lots of books about different kinds of animals, daring ideas, dubious spell descriptions. But I didn't really understand any of it, except there was one little thing, scribbled on a piece of paper, crumpled up as if it had been thrown away. It looked like a recipe for a magical drink, just like the ones you serve. You're the culprit. Can you imagine, though? Ta-da! That's very useful. And it's not necessarily stealing if it was thrown away, right? Not that would matter now. Anyways, we were rummaging through his belongings and scrolls when we suddenly heard the front door squeak and creak as someone entered the house. We hadn't been quick enough with our investigation, and definitely not subtle either. The whole place looked super chaotic. The wizard immediately knew something was off. And a potentially dangerous person on high alert is even more dangerous, so we had to be on guard. Blade decided to hide under the desk in the middle of the room, but I had other plans. I managed to jump on a bookshelf and wedge myself right on top under the ceiling. So I was hidden, but could still see the whole room. That's a good call. I watched as the magician barged in, but he wasn't alone. He was accompanied by a lizard, a colorful bird, and a two-headed sheep. Oh no, not one of those again. Huh? It's nothing. Please, continue. It was so weird. The bird didn't know how to fly. The lizard walked on 2 legs, and the sheep's 2 heads always looked in the same direction, as if they were all infected with rabies. All 4 of them started to get real close to the table where Blade was hiding. And as if the wizard noticed something, he stopped and said to the animals, "No, you 3, get out of here. I don't want you to get in trouble or hurt." I already had my fingers wrapped around the handle of my knife, ready to strike. I'm sure he felt my murderous intent. But it does sound like he cared about those animals. That's what I thought too. As soon as they had left the room, I saw him create a ball of flames in his hand. He was ready to strike, and I knew I had to do something. He would have done horrible things to Blade. So I yelled, "Stop infecting those poor animals with rabies!" The wizard turned around and saw me on top of the bookshelf. His eyes were so big, as if he was absolutely terrified. Then the flame in his hand started to flare up even brighter. I immediately knew she was in danger, so I broke every possible rule the Thieves' Guild taught me, and just popped up from underneath the table. I'll be kind. That was very brave of you. Don't know if I'd have been so fearless. Well, I had to. I saw her on top of that shelf, paralyzed with fear. So I shouted, "Jump, now!" Awoken from my paralysis, I did as I was told, and jumped down from the top shelf, right onto the desk. But all the notes and pieces of paper there made the surface kind of slippery. I panicked and tried to get a grip with the help of my claws. I tore some of the papers, and one of them even got stuck on my paw. Luckily, I caught her. She's so light that I was easily able to scoop her up. Then the wizard started yelling, something about annihilating all his years of research. I think he meant Melina messing up his desk. I didn't want to destroy his notes and research. I didn't do it on purpose. Of course you didn't, Melli. But what happened next? Were you able to clear up the misunderstanding? Maybe in another reality we could have talked it out. But the fire in his hand made me so uneasy, I couldn't let go of my knife. He was so terrified. I think he thought I wanted to attack him. So he tried to strike me first. He shot his fireball at us. Luckily, I had already grabbed Melina. And with the extra dexterity your drink provided, I jumped to the left, somehow managed to dodge the attack. The whole desk exploded. There were burning splinters and papers everywhere. Are you two okay? Did you get hurt? I'm okay. Blade used his body to shield me. It's nothing. Miraculously, I only got hit by some debris. Nothing I couldn't handle. I've felt worse. But I was really lucky you made me the drink with those phoenix chilies. He would have absolutely caught fire otherwise. The flames started spreading super quickly, and the only way out of the room was past the wizard. But he had already started preparing another fireball to finish off once and for all. I needed a way to buy us some time, or distraction. So while he readied his spell, I reached for the bookshelf that Melina had hidden on top of earlier. Again, it must have been your magic. Because even though it was a massive piece of furniture, I could quite easily knock the whole thing over. In that exact moment, the wizard also launched his second fireball. It would have definitely hit us if I hadn't moved the shelf. There was a second explosion. Then burning books and huge chunks of wood everywhere. And with a big whoom, The shelf crashed on the ground. I don't really know how it happened, but the wizard must have gotten buried under it somehow. I knew getting out of that room was our highest priority. Sooner or later, the flames would catch up to us as well. I was sure of that. I kept a tight hold on Melina, jumped over the burning debris to the door, then stormed outside. Getting us both to safety was more important than the life of a wizard that tried to kill us. Twice. I guess you're right. I'm glad you two are alive and well. That does sound rather dangerous. The story isn't over yet. We made it out of that room, but ran into those 3 weird animals that had accompanied the wizard. I recall a lizard, a colorful bird, and a 2-headed sheep. Am I right? Correct. First, I thought the rabies-infected animals wanted to attack us. But suddenly they spoke to us. In our heads. That's odd. Usually it's familiars that communicate like that. Now hold on tight, Innkeeper, because they were, in fact, not infected with rabies. The animals were actually former familiars that the wizard transmuted? Yes, he transmuted them into animals. Not because he was evil, because the familiars asked him to. They were tired of their dragon-like bodies and wanted to finally experience life as real animals. Naturally, they had no prior experience and still had to learn how to act in accordance with their new forms. So all the weird animals, like that dog the sailors were talking about, weren't actually infected with rabies, but were transformed familiars. Excellent work, detective. But there is one thing I don't understand. Why didn't they just tell their friends and wizards about their wish? That's simple. They were scared. Scared of rejection, ignorance, loneliness. It comes to mind that this is suddenly hitting harder than the last time I played this particular result. That this bit of mission is very good metaphor for being trans and transitioning. Why you don't always tell people. Because some people react very, very poorly if you don't fit what they think about you or how they think the world works. One sec, I just need a sec before continuing. Just in light of recent events. Okay. Okay, let's just continue through. So they just kept to themselves. Of course, their friends assumed the worst after weeks of not hearing from them. It's so sad. They were scared of being left alone and chose a life full of self-inflicted loneliness instead. Then we went and destroyed their home, too. Which is a good message that sometimes your actions have unintended consequences. And I think in an instance like this, it's a metaphor for when you couldn't have known what you're doing could hurt others. Like misgendering people. Not because you knew when you were choosing to do it, but because they couldn't trust you to know that side of them. They have to continue in pain. Oof. Yeah, this segment's really hurt a lot more than last time I've done it. In my off-stream playthrough, I did the other option for this, and they actually came to a calm discussion with the wizard. We were able to get through without anything being destroyed, no one being hurt. Oof. But you didn't do that on purpose. Exactly. The wizard destroyed his home by himself. I didn't even attack him. I know. But what about the 3 familiars? They went to check on the magician first, and returned without him. Their faces spoke volumes. Did he die? Either the falling shelf killed him, or the fire did. For his sake, I hope it wasn't the latter. Nevertheless, there's nothing we could have done for him. After we made it out, I tried to tell the familiars that they should just talk to their friends. I'm sure they could have all figured it out together. But they just ran away from us. Understandable, after what we did. I think they heard what I said, but I don't know if they'll actually do it. I think you did everything you could, Melli. The rest is out of your hands now. And you uncovered the truth. So you completed your first mission. It doesn't feel like a success, though. Don't be too hard on yourself. You did everything you could. Sometimes you can't prevent tragedy. They're right. Life can be cruel. The sooner you realize it, the better. All right. The familiars also gave us something. Oh? Dinner time? No, enjoy your dinner, Barango. I will probably be about over by the time you're done, because it's about 6 or 7 minutes to 7. So enjoy it, and I'll see you around. Neither of us have any use for it, so we wanted you to have it. Don't say that. That makes it sound like it's a bad gift, and it's not. What is it then? It's a ring of beast storing, with a lost familiar inside of it. They said the wizard found it long ago, but its patron never showed up. We named it Renew. Melina can't take care of it, and I have my sheepfish, Rufus. But you have Andu, so you already know how to take care of a mini dragon. Oh, I absolutely do. He might enjoy some company, so thank you two very much. There they are, Renew. I need to get back to Rufus now. He gets lonely without me sometimes. Or is it that you get lonely without him? He's my pet. I need to take care of him. Don't worry. I'm sure Fable did a good job. Though it's nice to see how much you care for your pet. He's been my only friend since my parents died a long time ago. Oh. Were they also eaten by zombies? No. They were burned alive. Oh. Oh, no. I remember as if it was yesterday. It was late afternoon, and my parents wanted to visit the adjacent village to buy some grain. But they never returned. I wanted to look for them. When I got to the village, every house, every barn, and even the ground was ablaze. I heard yelling, People screaming in pain, pleading for help, and my parents were nowhere to be found. A few of the survivors confirmed they had seen them earlier that day, before the fire. I later found out the perpetrator was the pretentious son of a noble family. He had a disagreement with a farmer over some payments, and instead paid a bunch of criminals to set fire to his barn. But the fire spread uncontrollably and devoured everything in its path, including innocent lives. Just like it did today. That's awful. I'm sorry, Blade. It's all right. I bottled all my emotions up and combined them into desire. For a family? For revenge. No wonder you were so tense when the wizard aimed a fireball at you. I just forgot that I was fire resistant. There's such a strong fear deep inside my guts that was telling me to flee. So I did. I couldn't help it. Of course you couldn't. Anyone would have done the same thing. I just thought that enough time had passed already, that I could master my fear. Something like that takes longer than you think. I'm also still afraid of T-Rexes and zombies. But didn't you have any friends that could have helped you out with your feelings? No. The people in the Thieves Guild helped me survive. They weren't particularly keen on friendship. So I just chose the lonely path that was meant for me. That's not very nice of them. But now you have me. And we're best friends now. And accomplices. And we can found our own guild. Like a detectives guild. No. Give us a few more quests, and we'll be the most famous detectives in all of Visoa. I'm sure of that. And a good mythical morning to you, Innkeeper. I think we're gonna leave it there. Yeah, fuck, that version of the story hit a lot harder than last time. Like I said, I did the other drink for their mission in my off-stream playthrough, and while it did still end with the reveal about what happened to his parents, it hits a lot harder when the mission went so poorly. That someone actually died in a fire, rather than them having found a way to talk it out. And also, we don't really have enough time to really get to the end of this next bit with Hex here. So on that note, let's go to the BRB screen and let's find someone to raid into, shall we? Howie should still be doing their donathon. So let's see if they are still on right now. So we can raid into them. Sorry, I didn't mean to end the stream on such a down moment, but I think I could use the break. Excuse me. Okay, sweet. Howie is still on. But they're beyond. Sorry, they are on a BRB screen as well. And it looks like it just started. Let's see. They're doing a short stream. Oh, Trix is doing a ranking of Pokemon Gym Leader fashion with Little Apple, Seed, and Death. So why don't we go ahead and raid into them. Alright, copy, because I'm not sure if I could actually spell that correctly. There we go. So as always, tome readers and guests, I hope you guys are eating enough, drinking enough, getting enough sleep. Take care of your body so it can take care of you. And take care of your body so that you can better take care of your loved ones. Like Melli, do your best to be there to listen to them in these trying times. Support them where you can. And take care. Things are going to get worse before they get better. But mark my words, they will get better. And on that note, I'll see you guys around. Next stream will be Tuesday, same time as this one. See you around.